Ragnar Anton Kittil Frisch, the 3rd of March 1895 to the 31st of January 1973, was a Norwegian economist and the co-winner with Jan Tinbergen of the first Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences in 1969. He is known for having founded the discipline of econometrics, and in 1933 to have created the widely used term macroeconomics/microeconomics. Frisch was appointed by the King in Council as Professor of Economics and Statistics at the Faculty of Law, the Royal Frederick University in 1931. He served as the Dean of the Faculty of Law 1942 to 1943. Today, the Frisch Center at the University of Oslo is named in his honor. Contents. Biography. Ragnar Frisch was born on the 3rd of March 1895 in Kristiania as the son of gold and silversmith Anton Frisch and Ragnar Fredrik B. Kittilson. The Frisch family had immigrated from Germany to Kongsberg in Norway in the 17th century, and his ancestors had worked for the Kongsberg silver mines for generations. Ragnar's grandfather Antonius Frisch had become a goldsmith in Kristiania in 1856. Being expected to continue his family business, Frisch became an apprentice in the David Anderson workshop in Oslo. However, at his mother's advice, while doing his apprenticeship, Frisch also started studying at the Royal Frederick University. His chosen topic was economics, as it seemed to be the shortest and easiest study available at the university, and passed his degree in 1919. In 1920 he also passed his handicraftsman tests, and became a partner in his father's workshop. In 1921 Frisch received a fellowship from the university which enabled him to spend 3 years studying economics and mathematics in France and England. After his return to Norway, in 1923, although the family's business was having difficulties, he continued his scientific activity, believing that research, not jewelry, was his real calling. He published a few papers about probability theory, started teaching at the University of Oslo during 1925, and, in 1926, he obtained the Dreyfus degree with a thesis in mathematical statistics. Also in 1926, Frisch published an article outlining his view that economics should follow the same path towards theoretical and empirical quantization that other sciences, especially physics, had followed. During the same year, he published his seminal article Sur un problème d'économie pure, starting the implementation of his own quantization program. The article offered theoretical axiomatizations which result in a precise specification of both ordinal and cardinal utility, followed by an empirical estimation of the cardinal specification. Frisch also started lecturing a course on production theory, introducing a mathematization of the subject. Frisch received a fellowship from the Rockefeller Foundation to visit the United States in 1927. There, seeking other economists interested in the new mathematical and statistical approaches to economics, he associated with Irving Fisher, Wesley Clair Mitchell, Alan Young and Henry Schultz. He wrote a paper analyzing the role of investment in explaining economic fluctuations. Wesley Mitchell, who had just written a book on business cycles, popularized Frisch's paper which was introducing new advanced methods. Although his fellowship was extended to travel to Italy and France, the next year Frisch had to return to Norway, because of his father's death. He spent 1 year to modernize and recapitalize his family's workshop, by selling family assets and to find a jeweler to manage the business for him. Then he resumed academic work, in 1928 being appointed Associate Professor of Statistics and Economics at the Oslo University. During 1927 and 1928 Frisch published a series of articles on the statistics of time series. In 1929 he published his first important essay on econometric methodology, correlation, and scatter in statistical variables, followed in the same year by Statics and Dynamics in Economic Theory, which introduced dynamics in economic analysis. Frisch became a full professor at the university in 1931. He also founded at the university the Rockefeller-funded Institute of Economics in 1932, and became its director of research. Frisch married Mary Smedal in 1920, and they had a daughter, Ragnar. His granddaughter, Nadia Husnaoui, Ragnar's child, became a Norwegian television performer. After his first wife died in 1952, he remarried in 1953 with childhood friend Astrid Johannesson. Ragnar Frisch received the Antonio Feltrinelli Prize from the Accademia Nazionale dei Lincei in 1961 and the Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences in 1969, awarded jointly with Jan Tinbergen, for having developed and applied dynamic models for the analysis of economic processes. During the occupation of Norway by Nazi Germany, Frisch was imprisoned in Bredtvet concentration camp from the 17th of October 1943, then in Berg concentration camp from the 22nd of November 1943, then in Grini concentration camp from the 9th of December 1943 to the 8th of October 1944. Contributions. Frisch was one of the founders of economics as a modern science. He made a number of significant advances in the field of economics, and coined a number of new words including econometrics and macroeconomics. His 1926 paper on consumer theory helped set up neo-Eurasian research. He formalized production theory, 1965. In econometrics he worked on time series, 1927, and linear regression analysis, 1934. With Frederick Waugh, he introduced the celebrated Frisch-Waugh theorem, econometric in 1933, sometimes referred to as the Frisch-Waugh level theorem. In oligopoly theory he developed the conjectural variation approach. His 1933 work on impulse propagation business cycles became one of the principles of modern new classical business cycle theory. He also helped introduce econometric modeling to government economic planning and accounting. He was one of the founders of the Econometric Society and editor of Econometrica for over 20 years. The Frisch Medal, so named in his honor, is given every 2 years for the best paper published in the aforementioned Econometrica in the previous 5 years. Frisch's most important hobby was beekeeping, for which Frisch performed genetic studies, for which Frisch